I started talking about images. Pages, let's see. Are they finished? Finished pages. I just want to talk about finished pages for a second. Like this one right here. This looks finished. It's completely covered. There's no blank spaces. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's finished. I could come back to this in a few months, years even, and if I have an image that I think looks good with it, I will layer it on top of this. I don't have to think, oh, well, that's finished, so I need to move on to a new blank page, and I'll glue that picture there, and then it's just sitting there by itself, and you go a few more months, and you haven't found that other perfect image to go with it, and you missed out on an opportunity to add it to this page, to maybe liven this page up more, or add more to it, or just to use that particular image that you may have found in a spot that it already belongs in. It already should go there, so just put it there. I'm not going to say cover, like if you find another image, cover up these birds, but no, put them over here where there's space. And if there's no space left on the page, then it might be finished. I'm not going to say for sure. You might decide to cover something up later on. Let's see. I talked about the white space. White space doesn't have to be bad. Like for instance on this page, I could leave these white spaces here, and I could call this done. Done for now anyways. I would be very happy with this. White space does not have to be bad. Waiting for the perfect piece. Instead of calling that just unfinished and a white space, just say you're waiting for the perfect picture to come along that you haven't found yet to go in that spot. Don't force anything that doesn't feel right. If you have, like, if I have this image, for instance, and it's black and white, so it really should go on this page. I don't really like it there. It doesn't speak to me, but it's black and white, and it matches the color scheme and stuff like that. I should put it there. That's not how I work. If I don't feel something immediately and I don't like how they go together, I don't put it there. If I get two pictures, or let's say 3 different pictures, or these lemons. Let's talk about these lemons for a second, because they've been hanging out on my desk here for a while in my workspace. I love these lemons, but I haven't glued them in the book yet because I don't want to force them anywhere, and I don't want to put them on a page and hope that someday it's just going to all work together and the perfect combination is going to just fall into my lap. I don't know that, so I'm hanging on to these until I know for sure, and that time happens, that I feel like that's where they belong. That's perfect. They work so well there. Until that happens, I'm not gluing them down anywhere. I'm not going to force it. And I don't want to put things together just to fill a page. That's not my goal. My goal is not just, oh, I have to fill this page, I have to fill that white spot, I have to fill up this book. As good as it feels to finish a book, and it does, it feels really good to finish a book and say, oh look, I made this, it's finished, it's complete. For me, that's not where the joy comes. The joy comes in the process. The joy comes in the act of doing, more so than in the finished product. No matter how much I love the finished product, which I do. And I will continue, once it's finished, to look through it for many, many years to come, I believe. Oh, let's see. The sun went behind a cloud. It got a little dim, but that's okay. And I need a drink. Let's see. What else? When I'm gluing on a page, I try not to overthink it. I'll take some pages and I'll lay them out a few different ways. And if nothing really speaks to me, and I don't feel like it's really working, I'm not going to force it. I'm not going to keep rearranging it and moving it around until it's perfect. I'm going to set the pictures down, leave them on that spot, like I'm sure you've probably seen me do. I'm going to set them there together in the same spot, and I'm going to turn the page and work on something else. Work on something that works for me. Something that I feel a connection to when I see it. This video is getting long, isn't it? 26 minutes. Okay. If you don't like something, cover it up. If you come back later and you open your book and that picture just doesn't look right to you, or it seems really out of place, cover it up. Cover it up with something else. It's not a done deal. It's not a rule that, oh, it's on the page, it has to stay. There's no rule like that. Let's see. If it makes you happy, do it. I think I may have said that already. If it makes you happy, do it. Don't worry about the color wheel. Don't worry about what's accepted in society. Don't worry about what the rules are for color and art, like the rules of 3 and 5, you know, odd numbers, and the rules of whatever other rules there are that I don't know, because I don't follow rules. I don't care about rules. I have learned in listening to other people talk about rules that I tend to follow some of the rules without even thinking about it. It just happens. And if you're concerned about it being pleasing to other people, then look into what those rules are. Look them up and see what they are. If you're a fashion designer or an interior decorator, yes, those rules are important, because you want those things to be appealing to other people. In your own glue book, it doesn't matter. You can completely go against the rules. Because like I said at the beginning of the video, there are no rules. This is your book. It's not meant for anyone else. Let's see. I think that almost that covers that stuff. I did want to talk a little bit more about images. There's one other thing. I mentioned texture and focal points. Focal points are great. Like, for instance, I have, if I can find it, which I probably can't because I'm thinking about it. I have, anyways, somewhere in this huge pile of papers, I have a picture of a woman's face. And I really like it, and I want to use it as a focal point. And I don't want to take away from that focal point by adding in other large eye-catching scenes. There will be other things in the background, but mainly it will be that focal point and things like color and texture. Those will be the main things that I look at when I look for images. I also collect tiny little pictures. I had a page here, hold on, which has little pictures of small patterns. This pillow, these plates, this chair, they're all filled with pattern. This stack of pillows is lots of textures and patterns all put together. I would cut that out and use just that. Now, I haven't cut anything out of this page yet because I don't need a bunch of tiny pictures laying around. I can just look at this, glance at it, and decide what I want to use. This piece of art can be used. This is a busy page in all, but it has a lot of great small things that can be taken out and used. Small pictures, if I do have them cut out, I keep them in this envelope, which was just a plain paper envelope, which I collaged just magazine images, and there's a quote here and a little note here. These were all from magazines, and I liked them all together, and so I glued them on. And then I took packing tape and just layered on packing tape across it to seal it, to make it sturdy and last. That way it's like this plastic envelope, but it's small and it can house my smaller pictures and they won't get lost in and amongst all of the bigger pictures. These are pictures or textures that I saved from when I was trimming them off of other images that I've used in the book. This has some great color and texture to it. This is just a solid color. This was from like a Tiffany ad, and that's a Tiffany blue. It's a little picture of a black and white image, a rug texture, a pillow, things like that that I would cut out and save. These are good for texture, like I've said probably 10 times now. They can be focal points. Smaller images can be focal points. Like this one I really like. That would be a great focal point in a spread. This sky and these trees would be great texture. Let's see. What else do we got here? This is part of a turtle, sea turtle. Great texture. Peacock. This, I cannot even 100% tell you what it is, but I like it. I think it's water. Splashing water, maybe? I don't know. But I like it. I like the color and the texture of it. This is just a bit of blanket that I liked the color of. So I keep these small pictures and I wait. Sometimes I forget about them, and what I'll do is I will, after I have several spreads done in my book, I will open up to a spread like this, right? And I think I could add more to that if I have something to add to it. And I'll just go through and see, nope, if there's anything, and I don't spend a lot of time doing it, maybe. And I can layer on these small pictures. I like those eyes. Small pictures that I could layer on there just to add a bit more interest, if I feel like it brings something to it. I'm not going to do it just to fill a gap or anything like that. I'm going to do it because it will enhance the spread. And I like to just flip through this. It's like, okay, there's nothing for that page. Maybe on this blue page. It doesn't go. The colors are great. The colors work. It's got this blue-gray and this golden yellow color that's throughout. This is kind of an orange and that's a yellow, but either this is kind of a tone in between. It has a bit of yellow there and a bit of orange there. Color is, like I said, color speaks to me. Color-wise, this works, but aesthetically, this is like an outdoor scene, and this is like a cozy home scene, so that in my mind, they don't work. This page is busy enough. I don't need to add anything to it. This blue, maybe I could add some of that galaxy. And since this page already has like ocean and water, as well as like the texture of this house and this window, it's already an eclectic mix. So this galaxy actually really works well there. And I may even, whoops, may even have to use my tool that I mentioned to rip a bit of that off. And I'm not going to glue it right now, but I'm going to leave it there as a reminder. And I can come back to that and I will glue it on there some other time. I don't have to do it right now. I'll just leave it there, let it mingle, and we'll see what happens when I come back to it. I might change my mind and take it back out. This is an unfinished page. I might have something here that I want to add. I could easily add that. I don't want it to be all just color though. It's kind of underwater. I'm looking for underwater scenes with similar colors. That's some water. It's a blue or blue, but there's blue on his shell right there. There's darker blue right there. Your eye will pick those things up. And if you don't know if it's going to work, the colors in this work, but the theme doesn't, because this is cold and wintry, and these cool blues. This is a boat on a lake. I don't want to think about going out on a boat on the lake in the middle of winter, unless you know, I'm that kind of person, which I'm not. And I want to go fishing in the winter. That's not me. So those two things do not work together in my mind. To you, it might. You might want to do it just because it's color coordinated. It's entirely up to you. Anyways, I will deal with this later. I do want to move it out of the way though. Put those, and like I said, just keep them in the envelope. I know I'm rambling. One more thing I wanted to talk about was paint chips. I like adding paint chips to pages to give me a feel of the color. Most of these are paint chips. Some of these are just colored cardstock that you can you could pair together and make your own paint chip type card. I have a fabric, this is like the selvage of the fabric, selvage edge, and it has all of the colors that were used in the fabric. So it has a great color scheme already out for you, and you know that it works because someone's already used it in a pattern. I'd cut up, sometimes I'll cut them up and use just the pieces that work on that page. Now I did want to mention, I do not just go through a store and just grab handfuls of paint chips at a time. I will sit there and look, and if I am in a certain color, I don't know how else to say it other than color mood. I go through color moods. Sometimes it's seasonal, sometimes it's just I'm really drawn to a certain color for, you know, a certain month or something like that, and it wears off. Those colors aren't as exciting to me anymore. But in the time that they are exciting to me, I'll go over to the paint section and I'll pick up a couple of colors that work, that are appealing to me, that I think are a great combination. And I do that occasionally. And I've been collecting these for probably over 10 years. So I didn't just go to a store and just grab handfuls of the paint chips. I'm not going to be that person that just walks off with them because they're free. Because they do cost the company money, and I'm not going to cause them any extra expenses. So I think that pretty much covers everything. I hope it encourages you to play with images and just see what works for you. And if it's something that you enjoy, then just do it. You don't have to worry about what I say or how I do things. Do what works for you. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm definitely going to be splitting it up into two, so I look forward to that. And thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for all of the encouragement that everyone's given me about my glue book. I wasn't sure how it was going to be received in the community. It's different from my other things, which is junk journaling, but you know what? We all have different interests, so I say go with it. Go with what makes you happy. So, excuse me again. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good day. Bye.